Hi, I'm Brad DeRoche. Welcome to my series on sight reading. Today is lesson number 13. I hope you've been sticking with me so far and that you're really starting to feel good about the notes on the fingerboard, that you really understand them and know where they are, and getting it really quickly also. That's sort of the goal, is to be able to do this rapidly and not have to spend a lot of time thinking, because that'll make us not so good at sight reading if we don't know where the notes are very quickly. So today's focus is on combining notes in the low, middle, and high registers all together. So once we do this, we're almost through all of our basic training that we need to start reading actual music, pieces of music. But this first step here, this really is a sort of basic training that everybody should go through. Sometimes it's needed as a remedial course for us to go back through because our learning has had holes in it, as did mine when I was growing up. I didn't learn these notes very well. It was spotty, and I just learned a few here and there, and it took a while to piece it all together. So let's make sure you do really well with this basic training. We only have a couple more days of it, and then we'll get past that and really do some more exciting things with reading real pieces of music and so on. Okay, so again today it's all three low, middle, and high registers combined. And so as I've done with most of the other ones, I can kind of just talk you through this and then let you do it on your own. But there's three ways that I like to do this. The first way is to take a single note. And once again, I'm using my note cards for this. I just take any single note and I try to play it in all the different registers that it can be found in. So my first note here is a C, and I know that the lowest register I can find that in is here, the middle register, first string, on the 8th fret. So that's C, and that's only one of the places that can be found. Can also be found here in the high register on the 2nd string at the 13th fret. So I've got two places, C here and C here, that I can play that same note. So again, the exercise is to just take your note cards, grab a single note, like this one's C, and you play it in all the different places. We hadn't gotten to the last one yet, so there's also a very high register note that I have written on the back of this card that you can see. You did that earlier. But anyway, play that note in the two registers that it could be found in between the low, middle, and high. Then I have this note here, the next one in the list, which is a G. So I'm going to start out. It can be found in the low register here. Should use the right fingering. There's a G. Then it's also in the middle register on the 2nd string G. And also here in the high register on the 12th fret. So single notes, and you play them in all the registers where they can be found. Some of the notes can only be found in one or two of the registers, like the low E on the 6th string, for instance. You can only find it in one spot, etc. So anyway, try to find it in all the different places and do them as quickly as you can. That's step number one. Step number two, you're going to use the 3-note groups like what we have on this sheet here, and you take a group of notes, let's say it's E, F, G right here, and you play that in all the different places that those 3 notes can be found in the registers. We actually did that with the notes when we were learning and on lesson, I think it was somewhere around lesson 8, where we did unisons. And so we did them just by letter name, E, F, G, then we found E, F, G here, E, F, G, and then E, F, G. So when we went through those, we're doing the same thing, but now we're going to find our note cards and put them in those little groups. So there was my G, I need my F and my E, there's the F, etc., etc. There's the E. So then I would take these 3 notes here, my E, F, and G, into a little grouping like this, maybe shuffle them or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Put them on the music stand in front of you and play those in the different registers. Mine came out in this order, G, E, F. So I'd play G, E, F. Then I have to move up to the next register where I can find those, and I do that again. G, E, F, and then again, G, E, F. And each time I'm looking at the note card, at the note on there, because again, I'm trying to do this in a way that allows me to find these notes in music notation and think in terms of music notation, not just letter name, because that's another trap many guitarists fall in. They can find the notes in terms of letter names. If you tell them play an A on a string, they can find it. But then they haven't made that other association of the music notation. What does that note look like in music notation? So we're trying to do that step, of course, today. So step 2 is to take these 3-note groupings, the ones that are on each string, the way I've laid them out on that sheet with the 4 registers. So we take our group of, say, E, F, G, and we play it in all the different places on the neck that we can find in the low, middle, and high registers. Okay, so that's step number 2. Step 3 is to take a random selection of 3 notes. Just shuffle your cards, grab 3 notes, and then just play those in the different registers wherever possible. Okay, so again, it's the same kind of protocol we had used for the other ones. We did single notes, finding them in each of the registers. Then we did note groupings by string. So let's say the EFG group is one example. So the EFG group on the first string, open 1st and 3rd fret, can also be found in the middle register on the 2nd string at frets 5, 6, and 8, and in the high register on the 3rd string at frets 9, 10, and 12. All right, so we did the note groupings, the string register note group 2nd, and then 3rd we did randomly selected 2 and 3 or 4 note groups, however many you want to do. Just limit it to a few, like maybe 3. And then you bounce around and find those in the different places. Okay, so we're going to use that method to increase the difficulty as we go through finding the notes. Okay, so that's it for today. Just try that out, and it only takes a few minutes. It'll take you less time than it will take watching this video. All right, so the few minutes it takes to watch this video, you could have done that same exercise 2 or 3 times and had learned the notes really well. Okay, so that's all for today. I'll catch you in the next lesson. We'll see you there. Cheers.